All right, welcome back to another edition of Chad Talks. And if you're tuning in again to listen to this series, I just talk about music and what's been on my mind, what inspires me. And tonight I was going to discuss some of my current favorite albums and new releases that I find interesting. And we'll start with we'll just go right into it with the new Rolling Stones album. I think it's just amazing. In fact, I venture to say it's probably my favorite Rolling Stones album of all time. So I'm sure I'll immediately get a little bit of backlash from that. But, I would like to point out the fact that it's just, perfect from start to finish, and it has several different guests on it. For those of you who don't know, it has I believe Elton John and I think Lady Gaga and Paul McCartney and I don't know if Dave Grohl's on there. Can't remember. Maybe mixing things up, but nevertheless, the new Rolling Stones album, Hackney Diamonds, is well worth checking out, and I listen to it quite often, just from front to back, and of course that song "Angry," so got that simple little Keith Richards riff, and then yeah, it's a fun song to play. That song "Angry," and like I said, a fun album to listen to. Strongly recommend that. And another one of my favorites is the new Bush album. It's called Art of Survival, and again, uh, my favorite album by that band as well. I mean, maybe I just am bored with some of the older albums by these bands, and just overdone it and heard it so many times. But I love new and fresh music because it inspires me, and it's just something different. We haven't heard it for the past 20, 30, 50 years in the case of Rolling Stones. So, but that album by Bush is well put together, and it's got some great riffs and just dark and melodic, and the art of survival. So check that out. Um, Another go-to album for me is the new Black Crowes album, Happiness Bastards, and I've always been a Black Crowes fan from the very beginning. I, I've enjoyed pretty much every one of their albums, and I'm not going to say this new album, Happiness Bastards, is my favorite because nothing really can compare to the Southern music harmony. And their first couple albums were just amazing. So, but this new album it really does hold up. I I think he's a great singer. I've always liked his singing style and their guitar style, and the keyboards and on it are amazing. There are a couple songs that really resemble their older tracks, their famous tracks like "Jealous" and "Twice as Hard." No, but and they do tend to sound the same, but a lot of bands fall into that trap, if you will, of sounding like themselves, which I don't know if that's a bad thing because they're making money. And but I like listening to Black Crowes. It's got that rock and rolly, bluesy vibe, and it's not too serious. It's not too in depth, and it's a great album to just put on and rock out to a little bit, and and do your thing, work around the house or whatever it is, whatever you're into at the time. Um, and it's not, it doesn't overpower, overtake the mood or the atmosphere or whatever it is. So you know, like other albums, you know, per se, maybe Radiohead, listening to listening to OK Computer pretty much takes over everything you're doing, and you really get absorbed and by that intensity, or Pink Floyd or something like that. So that's why I like the Black Crowes. They got that happy-go-lucky, bluesy, got some grit to them, and again, not too serious. So the fourth album, I want to review on is the new Pearl Jam album, and me and my friends have some discussion going on about our thoughts on it, and our, what songs we like, and just in general how we feel about the new album. It's called Dark Matter, and I must say that I listened to it a couple times now. My very first time, I just cranked it loud through the stereo. It was mid afternoon. I just had lunch and recharged, and I was working, doing some stuff, and I cranked that album out real loud through a great set of speakers. And I must say, I was very impressed with the album. I think it sounds great, and there's a lot of really great tracks on it that I thought had some energy and passion and depth to it. I mean, in particular, the title track, Dark Matter, but as well as the song Waiting for Stevie. I think it was about them waiting for Stevie Wonder or something to show up to the studio, or they were jamming with him or something. But the guitar tracks on that song and lyrics, and it's just a powerhouse of a song. And there's a couple of them there. There's also a couple songs are a little fluffy and just kind of going through the motions and haven't really grabbed me yet. But I still give the album, a solid A. It really holds my attention, and I keep listening to it over and over. So that's a good sign, Whereas their last album, Gigaton, I really I can't even remember or can say that I can really sit through any particular song. It just seemed very boring and unrememberable to me. Nothing grabbed me about that album, but this new one, Dark Matter, really I think it's worth checking out. So and keep listening to it. A couple times I think it will sink in, and you'll begin to love it, as often Pearl Jam albums were that way for me. I'd listen to them a few times and I'm just like, where is this going? And then eventually, I'm like, wow, this is just amazing, and I totally can relate and dig what they're doing musically. So there it is. That's my album reviews and the kind of things I check out. Of course, I also listen to a lot of Allman Brothers and old blues artists. I love Albert King, and now there's some new. I love Freddie King and all that as well. There's some new guys creeping into the scene, and of course, I listen to Billy Strings and the bluegrass thing from time to time. It's not something I spend every day listening to and whatnot, but it definitely is a part of my life, and it's very inspiring to me. And those guys have just such extreme talent, and almost on a whole new level, a whole new world playing field. So the utmost respect for all of that. And of course, people like Willie Nelson still putting out songs, and his songs are great, and just turned 91 years old, and he's still touring, and he's still releasing music, and I just think that's amazing, and his new songs are, you know, really good. It's not like he's just going through some motions or something, or there's a lot of great material out there. I mean, the newest one that I remember is the song "The Border," you know, about the border of Mexico, and it's just an awesome, powerful song, you know. And I also listen to, you know, Johnny Cash, and of course, and some of the older blues artists, and stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time studying and playing the blues. You know, lately I've been playing Butter here. I call it Butter. It's the Epiphone Les Paul Jr. It's a 57 reissue. So and it's just got the single coil pickup. I can't remember if I have talked about this guitar in the past, but it definitely is one of my favorites. It plays beautifully, and it's got a great sound, and it's just, you know, simple and basic, and it's actually, you know, very heavy. One of the heaviest guitars that I own. This thing's just a solid chunk of wood, and but it sounds great, and I just love that color. It's just amazing. So there's the kind of things I get into, and of course I'm always trying to practice songs and rehearse for some upcoming shows that I have with you know, the Smooth Groove Band and the Best Regards Band, and I'm always collaborating with other musicians. You know, my go-to original band, Not Responsible, and the guys in that are just amazing. So hopefully get some more, you know, recordings from our sessions there, and really having a good time with it as always, and just trying to keep the momentum going. And so again, if you like these kind of music talk videos, please let me know. Give me the thumbs up. Give me some thoughts and suggestions. You know, maybe topics you want me to cover, or songs you want me to try and learn or discuss. But I'm open to all ideas. And, you know, as always, thank you for watching my videos and supporting my channel, and be kind to each other.